Okay. All right. So, good morning, all of you. Today, we will start with the growth and development, the second lecture. Okay. So, just have a look. Okay. Just a second. All right. So, we have already done that. What is growth and what is development, and we have also seen the differences between growth and development. Okay. Now we will see the on what principles human development works on. Okay, so there are some principles uh, f- of human development. So let's start with the first one is you can see that. So first one is continuity, then second one is sequentiality, third is generality to specificity, the fourth one is differentiality, and fifth one is development proceed from head downwards, and development proceed from center to outwards, and the seventh one is development depends on maturation and learning, and eighth one is development proceed from simple to complex, and growth is also personal matter. Growth comes within, and growth has certain characteristic common at particular age also, right? Growth is gradual and ordinary but uneven. Okay, so these are the principles on which the growth and development works on. So let us see one by one. So first one is the continuity. Okay, so the continuity, when we talk about continuity in growth and development, so it's a since we know that the growth and development is a continuous process, right? And it ends till death. Okay, so we can say that in the early age, in the early years of the life, you may have seen that it consists of changes that lead the child to maturity, not only the body size and functioning. You can see that the shape and size of the body parts changes, right? But by the time the shape and size of the body changes, also the behavior changes, right? Also the emotional changes there is, right? Also the psychological changes take place, right? So so by the time it develop. Okay, so this is what the continuous process, right? Even after maturity has attained, development doesn't end, right? Since we know that development is a endless process, right? So it goes on continuous, right? And lead to the period of life known as senses or old age, right? So this period is also known as old age. Okay, all right. The second one is sequentiality. So there's a sequence of growth, right? In our body parts, in our behavior, right? Because it's not like first you start speaking, then walking, and then like thinking, right? So there's a sequence, right? So every species and animals follows a pattern of development, right? And the pattern is same for all individual, right? It doesn't differ, right? Social and behavioral scientists increasingly have come to see development as a relationship between organism and environment, right? So there's a relation between organism and environment also, right? Through environment we develop our skills, we develop our senses, right? We develop uh, our physics also, physic, right? Right. So through the environment, the development and growth also affect, right? That's what it is, right? Now next point is just second. All right. So We were discussing the sequentiality, right? Actually, there's a glitch. Why? Because I was somewhere else. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, let's start with this again. So sequentiality. Okay, so as the word suggests, the sequence, like you must have heard, like walk in sequence, stand in sequence, write in sequence. I mean, a sequence is nothing but a pattern, right? Follows a pattern, right? So pattern means you must have known that what is pattern. There's a pattern of writing, right? There's a pattern of walking also. There's a pattern of driving a car, right? So you can say that it's a sequence, right, also, right? But it is related to growth and development. So there's a sequence, there's a pattern of growth of our body, right? So social and behavior scientists increasingly have come to see development as a relationship between organism and environment. So as I have discussed already, that the environment, outer environment and inner environment, that also affect our growth or development. Okay, that also affect our social well-being, right? And that is a part of what? Development, right? The environment around us also affect our emotional characteristic, right? Psychological characteristic, very much, right? Now next point is individuals work with and affect their environment. Yes, do they? Yes, do they? Right? In turn, environment works with and affect them also, right? Affects them. So this statement means individuals work with and affect the environment, and in turn environment works with and affect them also, right? Like in a school setup, in a school environment, you went there to learn something new, right? So that within that environment you will definitely learn new thing, right? So that is what it means. Okay, now again, the last point for sequentiality is all children follow a development pattern with one stage leading to the next, right? It means there's a pattern of growth of a child, right? From innocence, infancyhood to childhood to adolescence, right? So, for example, infants stand before they walk. Okay, you always have. I mean, you must have observed the infant, like he or she try to stand before they walk, right? Or you must have observed this also. The second example is they learn to make a circle before the square also, right? So this is what the sequence, right? Infant will stand first and then walk, and similarly infant will draw a circle first, I mean learn to draw a circle, and then he or she will learn to make square, right? All right, now if you see the picture here, it is development proceed from general to specific response. Okay, so as you can see in the first picture, like he or she is in infancyhood, he tried to play with the three small balls, you can say, right? But similarly, when he or she grow up and reach to the second stage of birth, you can say, so we start recognize the latter. What is that, right? So you can see from infancyhood to the childhood. In infancyhood, you can see the general uh, responses you can see. But in childhood, he or she starts recognize the letter A, right? So that's a development, right? All right. Now let's see the general to specific. The development starts from general to specific. So it means the children uses their cognitive and language skill to reason and solve problems. Okay, means the children solve the problems, right? When you give the problems to solve, okay, so children, what we will do, what happens with the children is they use their cognitive means their mind, their psychology, right? They use their reasoning to solve that problem. Okay, and also the language skill, they use the language skill, like you ask some questions, so he or she will reply you in a particular language, in Hindi or in mother tongue, or you can say in English also, right? And you see definitely use their brain. what Whatever comes into her mind, into his or her cognition, he will reply, right? All right. Also, you have seen that children first try to hold the bigger thing and then try to hold the smaller thing easily, right? I mean, learn to hold the bigger thing first and then he or she, I mean, if you say, for example, if you give the bigger ball, he or she try to catch them, and when he will able to catch the bigger ball, then he will try to learn to catch the smaller ball, right? Because it was difficult for her is to hold the smaller ball, right? All right. And also you have seen that he or she try to hold with a single hand, right? And then he will learn to pick a ball to the with the both hand, right? Like small uh, peanuts, you can say the peas, cereals, etc. He will try to pick up, right? Right. Similarly, the children will learn to hold the pencil first and then start drawing the circle and then square, right? And then you can say the letter and the words, right? Likewise. So first he learned to hold the pencil, that is a general thing, right? But he or she moving to learn to draw the circle, draw the square, draw the letters, words, etc. That is a specific thing, right? Which you ask to do them, right? All right. Now the next principle is differentiality. So the differentiality is, as the word suggests, that difference. So the children learn to differentiate between the object, between the person, you can say, right? All right. And it will differs from individual to individual. Okay. All right. So the boys and girls have the different body structure also, and must have like different body parts, right? Some little bit differs, right? So it does not occur at even pace. Okay, it differs, right? All right. So the next one is, next principle, you can say that development proceed from head to downwards. You can see in the picture, when the child grow, first head will come out. When first you can say the head will grow up, and then the legs, and so on. So that pattern is known as cephalocaudal pattern, right? Now next one is the development proceed from head downwards. So basically it's a direction of growth and development. At first follow which other organs start developing, right? So first children will learn to gain or to control the head first, and then arms and legs, right? Means a child will speak out first, and then he will move their heads and all, right? So that is what the development proceed from head downwards, right? All right. Now there's another pattern where development proceed from center to outwards. So as you can see in the picture, first his stomach or heart will develop, and then the hands and the legs, and then like, and so on. So that is what known as proximodistal pattern, right? So we have seen two special pattern, cephalocaudal, right? The cephalocaudal pattern, and the next one is proximodistal, right? So in cephalocaudal, the development proceed from head to downwards, but in proximodistal pattern, development proceed from center to outwards, right? So which is the direction of development, you can say, in prenatal stage or postnatal stage. So what is prenatal stage? Before the birth, right? Postnatal stage just after the birth, right? So from head to foot it develops, from center to extremities of the body. So these are the two patterns which we have seen already, that cephalocaudal and proximodistal, right? So you can say that spinal cord develops before outer parts of the body, right? And so on. So and fingers and two muscles are the last to develop, and that comes under what? Cephalocaudal, right? All right. So development depends on maturation and learning also. So maturation is what? The sequential characteristic, right? It occurs in sequence order and gives children a new ability, new capability to do the work, to do the task. The changes took place in brain and nervous system in maturation period, and also improve their thinking and motor skills also, right, in maturation. And so they can progress to learn a new skills also likewise. So that is what you can say, that it's in sequence, depends on maturation and learning. How as soon as he's matured, he will learn more, and then his skills or motor skills will develop more, right? So that's what it is. Now next one is the development proceed from simple to more complex, right? So in this process, what happens is the cognitive and language skill are used as a reason to solve a particular problem, right? So as I said, the simple to more complex is what? The simple thing like holding the big thing. The complex thing is what? Holding the smaller thing, picking the smaller thing, catching the smaller thing. So that's what it is happening in development, right? See, growth is a personal. Sorry, it is. So growth is a personal matter. Yes, it is. So child develops their skills themselves also, right? And no one will restrict his or her, like how fast he is learning. It depends on skills only, right? Some of them are very fast learner, some of them are very slow learner. Okay. All right. Growth comes from within also. From within is what? Like the emotions develop. Like let's say the first statement, one or surrounding environment can encourage and hinder the energy of the child, but the drive force that pushes a child to grow is carried inside him. Right? So let's say parent or teacher jobs is to clear the track and guide the child with loving expectance and then relax and joy. Right? So parent and child task is to what? To guide the child so that he or she feels love lovingly, and so that he or she will feel relax and enjoy. So that is what comes from within only, right? So thank you so much. Now in the next lecture we will see the another topic. Okay, so till then, goodbye. Okay.